Now, you guys know I like to pick up a lot of movies, and these are my latest pickups. Now, I wanted these movies for a while because I always wanted them to be. These are things that are near and dear to my heart. Now, you're probably wondering what's a grown 64-year-old guy buying movies like this? Well, a lot of times it's just memories, and I have memories. So, this is Finding Nemo. I've been wanting this in my collection because I remember taking my three boys to go seeing this movie, and we really enjoyed this movie. And man, it brings back some fond memories. I remember we used to go to movies all the time because we were struggling. But even my even they even say that that was some of the best times they had was when we used to walk to the theater and go to we had theater that was like so many blocks away. It was a little bit of a walk, but we used to use this bike path to go, and we went and seen this movie. But God, this movie was so good. I never really got into the other one, but because I don't have a nostalgia. I don't have a good memory of it because of the simple fact I didn't take my kids. But this one, I remember we was at that theater. That theater that we went and seen this is closed down. But anyway, that to me, I think this is my first. I think it was probably my first Pixar movie. That I said, but man, I just wanted to keep it because sometimes I'll watch these movies and sometimes I'll just go down memory lane. Uh, my other one here is The Incredibles. Man, I remember taking the boys to go see The Incredibles, and I remember that their mom, because me and their mom, we had been not together for years, but she ended up marrying another guy and had a little girl, and the little girl always was the little girl that was their little sister, and I remember she dropped them off, and I said, "You guys, we're gonna go see Incredibles," and their little sister's like, "Can I go?" And she was by a different guy, obviously, and I was like, "Oh, you want to go? You can go." So we took her along with us to go see The Incredibles, and man, such memories of us being in that theater. And I remember I had my three little boys' sister, because their mom got married to another guy, and she had a little kid by her husband, which was their younger sister, and we went and seen this movie. This movie was so flipping good. It was so good, and it still holds up today. And I always wanted to get these movies in 4K, but the only reason why I'm sharing this stuff with you because each one of these I have memories with. I really do, and yeah, me and my three boys, man, we went and seen this movie, and then we took their younger sister. Man, we was blown away by how good this movie was. And then I think the next one is this one is really this one, Toy Story 2. I remember my sister that passed away of cancer took us to go to Toy Story 2, to see Toy Story 2. Now, I never bought Toy Story 1 because I just didn't. Because I have memories with this. And this is another Pixar movie. And boy, I tell you, Pixar was rocking, man. I can't figure out whatever happened to those guys. But, oh man, this movie was just so freaking good. And the thing is, my older sister passed away of cancer. And I remember she was always trying to get me to realize how truly thankful I should be. And she was always trying to make me look at things positive. And I didn't realize things until after she was gone. But she planted those seeds, man, and they finally took root. But I remember she always told me, she goes, you're working three jobs and you're not doing anything stupid. Because at this point, I had stopped cold turkey going out. I just had this little apartment. I was trying to raise these three little boys. And I was trying to, just I was working all these jobs. I was paying $200 and some a week in child support, and I was just trying to. Then my sister just kept telling me, she was trying to show me that the gifts that I had that was right in front of me, which was I got a total of 5 kids. There was one I didn't even know I had, but I had Andrea that would come down. My daughter would come down every now and then, and she took. Andrea was with us when she always made sure that I didn't get to see my daughter. And she brought my daughter, which was a surprise, and she decided to take us to go see this movie. Then she had a picture of all of us in this theater. That theater's closed down now, But Jeannie, this is a tribute to my sister, man, and there's such fond memories. When I pop this in, I'll go back to when, I actually seen this movie, and she was trying her best to have me look on the bright side of things. You know what I mean? And yeah, I have such fond memories of my sister, and I think it was a couple years after that she passed away of cancer, and she was always trying to get me to realize how I was working hard, and she was trying to get me to look at all the positive things, and more or less trying to tell me just to, have faith and believe in God, and pray and try to do the best you can. And she just was just, every time I look at this, I always think about her taking us to that theater, and I had all four of my kids at that time. I didn't even know I had another one out there, but it was a great time. I just remember her taking a picture of me and with all four of my kids, and it was just it's fond memories, man. Sometimes you don't realize what you got until it's gone, man. And I tell you guys out there, you got family, little kids, you're struggling, just go with the flow, and you will get, if you're trying to do right, it will pay off. And then Incredibles 2. Now, the memories I have of Incredibles 2 was me and my daughter, we wanted to spend Father's Day together. Like, she goes, "Hey, Dad, what do you want to do? I'll come see you Father's Day." I said, "Well, I wanted to go see that Incredibles 2. And at that time, Junior, which is her son, he is with her mom and her stepdad, which helped raise her. And she goes, "Well, I'll meet you where you want to go see that." And she goes, "We can do that for Father's Day." So it's so weird. We drove halfway. It was a halfway mark from where I lived to where she lived. And so we found this theater, and it was a nice theater. And we both was running late. And when we got there, they was still running, coming attractions. And I got there before she did, and I was running late. And then when she got there, she was running late. She finally said that. She goes, "Wow, the movie's not even started yet?" I said, "No." And me and her watched this movie together, and it was packed, and there was so many people in there with their kids and stuff like that. And it was definitely a very good sequel to the movie Incredibles. But me and her sit there, and that was me and her's little Father's Day together thing. And this is memory lane. It's another one of those Pixar movies that Pixar was just rocking back then. And is this as good as the first one? Not as good as the first one, but it is very close. I enjoyed it, and I liked it. But the first one is by far the best one. But another one of those memories of me being with my daughter, and me and her. It's so funny, we decided to spend Father's Day, and we went and seen that. So as you got noticed, I got a lot of movies that has memories. And then Up is a movie that I checked out because I had hip surgery. And so I was thinking, man, I'll talk about another movie another minute. But this is another Pixar movie. These are all my favorite Pixar movies, by the way. But I was like, man, I was laid up with a hip surgery, and I was like, I said, "Oh, let me check out Up." Man, Up was so good, but it was so sad. I was like, my Lord, man, I wasn't expecting that. And I remember recovering from that hip surgery, and I remember watching this movie, and I bought it. I rented it, and I really liked it, but it was sad. But at the time, it was a very good movie. Again, Pixar. Whatever in the world happened to you guys? What happened? What happened? But anyway, God, I remember watching this, and I remember I was laid up with that hip. I had a total hip replacement, and I kept saying to myself, "Am I ever going to walk normal?" These are all things that's going through my mind when I was recuperating and, recovering from that surgery, because I was off work for like 3 or 4 months. And, I ended up walking normal, thank God. And then Ratatouille. I watched Ratatouille when I had hip surgery again. I don't know how I rented this, but I ended up renting it. And I thought I was like, man, this movie probably going to suck. It was freaking incredible, man. The story writing and the way their imagination was. Disney doesn't have any imagination anymore. They just totally lost it, man. I can't figure out what happened. And Pixar, man, they have lost their mojo, and I don't think they're ever going to get it back because they can't even remotely make anything as good as these movies anymore. But anyway, another Pixar, Ratatouille. I remember watching this, and I was like, man, because I remember somebody came over and said, "Hey, how's it going? You doing all right with your hip surgery?" I said, "Yeah, I'm doing pretty good." And I was recovering from hip surgery, and that's how I ended up coming across this. And it was another one of those that, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get it on 4K as well. So yeah, Ratatouille. It's so funny, man, because I was coming from hip surgery on that end up, but yeah, Ratatouille, another Pixar. These are all my favorite Pixar movies, all of them. There's a lot more out there, but these are the ones that are near and dear to my heart. Strange story with this. So, me and my kids, my boys' mom, because I have three different, I have that, Andrea is by one mom, and then the new son is by the one that found me is by a girl I dated a long time ago. I didn't even know she was pregnant by me, but anyway, I'm glad he found me. It was great. I thank God for that. But my kids, my three boys' mom, I was staying with this girl that I found out didn't like me and all. She just didn't like me, so I didn't realize that. So she came down. She wanted to take the boys to go see Monsters Inc. And I remember sitting there, and she goes, "I'm taking them to go see Monsters Inc." And so she took them to go see Monsters Inc. And because the boys were staying with me and that girl that I found out didn't really like me, and I don't know why we was together, but anyway, it is what it is. But that was a part of the memories of some of these movies while I'm switching up. So she takes them, and I remember watching her walk out my three little boys, which was our three little boys. And she took them to go see that movie. Then she brings them back, and me and her kind of got into a spat over something silly. And it wasn't too bad, but the girl that I was staying with kind of felt awkward because me and her was kind of bickering back and forth, but we weren't yelling. And I didn't like that because I didn't like arguing with her in front of that girl I was staying with because it was my kids' mom. I did not like that at all. But I remember watching, I said, man, I wanted to take them to go see that movie. And so later on, I ended up renting this movie from somewhere, and I just fell in love. And I said, man, I knew that was a movie I wanted to go take my boys, but their mom ended up taking them. And I was staying with this girl that, that didn't work out. And, we didn't have no big fallout or anything. She just didn't like me like I thought she liked me. And that's all that was to that. But that was just switching up all these memories with these different movies. And then me and my boys' mom kind of got in a little bit of a spat, but it wasn't a yelling spat. It was just like we were trying to be cool in front of the girl I was staying with, and she felt awkward, and she had three little kids, and crazy. But anyway, Monsters Inc. Such great memories, you guys. Such great memories. Pixar. But in closing, I just want to share with you guys that I just don't like what Disney is doing, and I'm not going to get into all the the ins and outs of it, but I don't really like any of the Pixar movies that comes out, and I just don't, I don't get into them. But these are by far my favorite Pixar movies. And you probably sit there and go, well, there's a whole lot more Pixar movies than that. But yeah, these are the ones that I like, and they stick out like a sore thumb. And there they are, as you see. You can see them. But anyway, I got the camera. But yeah, and there's all kind of memories behind each and every one of them. But anyway, those are my Pixar movies, and it's a daggone shame that Disney is not the way they used to be. Because I'm getting rid of a lot of streaming services, man. I want to go physical. Then I heard that a lot of companies are trying to stop selling physicals. But anyway, you guys, those are my pickups of my Pixar, and it's a daggone shame that they're not the way they used to be. God bless and take care, and we'll catch you in the next video. We'll see you.